Alright, listen. I get it. Roblox is an interesting game. There's a lot of weird shit going on in that game. A lot of the weird role-playing games. It's just I can see why people, have a weird a weird relationship with it. I did not write a script for this. I'm just full on winging it, so I'm gonna stutter a lot. But But if you're one of these type of people that say, no, well, I think Roblox is cringe. Ooh, Sraba. Ooh, Sraba. Next, alright. If you think that, then you're wrong. The reason why you think this is because you're not looking at the right games of Roblox. And that's why I'm here, to show you the right games. And why not, let's just start with it. Oh, fuck this intro. I did not plan this intro. I fucking suck. God, for the first game we have up is the most common game that everyone knows when you think of good Roblox games is Phantom Forces. What it was Phantom Forces, you may ask? Phantom Forces is just a Call of Duty clone. Yeah, there's a lot of clones in Roblox. It's a fucking free game. Expect there to be clones of games that already exist. But this is a very well made Call of Duty clone. It's very simple. It doesn't have none of that bullshit complex shit from the newer Call of Duty games. It's very simple. It has huge maps, a huge amount of players in both teams, and your goal. There's different game modes. There's like capture the flag. There's team deathmatch. There's FFA, free for all. There's like a different version. There's like the different where you grab like domination. There you go. There's the one where you grab the suitcase thing and you have to run with the suitcase. I think that's one. This game, in my opinion, is one of the hardest games you can play in Roblox. It's a very high skill level game. It's very hard. You really need to have 20/20 vision to be able to see people from afar, especially if you're a sniper. Because people with actual 20/20 vision can just easily snipe you from afar, and you don't even know what the fuck they came from. This game does require a buff PC to be able to play with, and so you can rank it up on high on the graphics level. So that way you're able to see people from afar. But besides that, this game is actually pretty fun. Yeah, I struggle a lot in this game, but besides that, it's pretty cool. It's pretty nice. All right, next game is Operation Siege. What is this? This is another clone, but from a different game, not from COD. As you can see from the UI and the HUD. It's a Rainbow Six Siege clone. Actually, probably the best Rainbow Six Siege clone in this game. It's very accurate to the original game, but honestly, I think it's a lot better. Not when it comes to graphics, honestly, because when it comes to simplicity, it doesn't have none of that bullshit from Rainbow Six Siege with all the super complex abilities. It's just very simple. It's more tactical than the original game itself. It does have Sledge in the game, Blitz. It has Barricade. Castles in the game too, kind of. You have heavy breaches, heavy charge. You have your flashbangs, your impact grenades, your frags. You have your basic weapons. You have your attachments. It's really nice. Once I found this game, I've been really enjoying the fuck out of it. It's literally just like, why play Siege when there's a free version of Siege? I mean, unless they make Siege free, then download Siege. But it's not free now, so what's the point? You can just play Siege on Roblox. It's perfect. It's amazing. Honestly, a top tier game in Roblox. I really recommend it if you're a first person shooter fan, also a tactical fan. It's fucking fun as hell. Play it. Next game up is another well-known game in the good Arsenal games universe is Arsenal. What is Arsenal? If you do not know, if you live under a fucking rock, Arsenal is a very fast-paced first-person shooter game that is based around only one specific game mode, gun game. What is gun game? You start off with a weapon. Everybody starts off with the same weapon, but when you kill a weapon, when you kill someone, you progress to a new weapon, and you have to do that until you get to 32 or the highest kill count, where you switch to the gun, and once you get the kill with the gun, Either in Roblox and Arsenal, either you win with a golden gun in certain game modes, or you switch to the knife and to the golden knife, and you have to kill somebody with a knife in order to win. It's very fast paced, awesome. It's very simple, even though it's super fast paced and it has a high skill cap. It's very easy. It's very easy, simple. It's not that complex. I like the game modes, the other game modes in the game, like free for all, team deathmatch. My favorite one is monkey business, which is kind of like an MVP type game mode where you have to get the highest amount of bananas, and when you have the highest person with the highest bananas, the person with the highest amount of bananas can become the monkey man, the monkey skin, which makes you really fast and able to. And I mean, you can only use knife, but it makes you really fast and have double jump. So you're a harder target to hit, but you are tracked, so it's easy. It's still easy to kill you, but it's harder to hit you if you're up close because you have insane speed. But this game is really fucking cool. It sucks when it's laggy. The hitboxes can be a bit weird. You can stand behind a wall and still die because the hitbox in the game is weird. Also, if you have latency or lag, it's just gonna make the situation a lot worse. But besides those, it's a fun game. I really enjoy it. I've been playing this game a while, for almost 3 years. This game is fucking fun as hell. I have like 27,000 kills in this game from this account. It's fucking amazing. I really enjoy this game. This is my go-to game in Roblox next to Operation Siege. I recommend it. It's fucking fun as hell. My next game up is ROBLOX, which is a Counter-Strike clone in this game. Probably the best Counter-Strike clone in the game. It does have all the Counter-Strike mechanics. It also has the UI, as you can see on top. It looks just like Counter-Strike. If you just ignore the shitty graphics and ignore the blocky characters, it's kind of like Counter-Strike. I never really played Counter-Strike. I've seen it. I mean, it's free on Steam. I just haven't gotten. I just don't feel like downloading it. I don't know. It's that game has a high skill cap, and I just don't want to fucking play it. So also, I'll just play the simpler version, which is on Roblox. But yeah, it's honestly there's nothing else much to say about this game. It's just a Counter-Strike clone. It's fun. It's not the easiest game. Getting used to getting used to the gun spread is a bit tricky. Sometimes the gun has a mind of its own. The gun spread kind of switches out of nowhere, and you can't hit people. But that's just part of the mechanic of Counter-Strike. So you just kind of get used to it. But it's a cool game. Alright, next game is a Bad Business. It is a semi-fast paced first person shooter game. Kinda like a mixture of what's the game? Fucking Phantom Forces with Arsenal. It's a mixture of Phantom Forces with Arsenal. Mainly when it comes to the pace of the game and the look to the game, which is more simpler than Phantom Forces, but also it's kind of like Phantom Forces because it's not Arsenal. It's just a Call of Duty clone. It's very fun. I like the lean mechanic. You can lean in this game, which is really fun. This game also has a very high skill cap level game in this too, which sucks for beginners. This game is very skill based. And you just gotta be patient and learn how to play the game. It's really fun. I like the pace of the game. It's simple and nothing complex. It's just great. It's a great game. It's a nice change of pace from Arsenal. It's a good game to go from like when you're playing Arsenal. It's a good change. You can play Arsenal, and once you're tired of Arsenal, you can kind of go here. It's a nice change of pace. It's a different feel to it. It's just nice. Or if Phantom Force is too much for you, then you can play this one. This one's a little bit easier, even though there's a lot more movement played into this game. It's still simpler. Next game we have up is none other than Shootout. Shootout is a westernized version of Arsenal. It's simpler. It has a dodging mechanic. You can dodge sideways or forwards by pressing F or Q and E. The weapons are unique, more unique than Arsenal itself. Simple game mechanic. Simple game, honestly. Nothing else too much. Nothing else much to this game. This game is just basically an Arsenal clone. But it's still fun. Just because it's a clone does not mean it can't be fun. And I like the third person. You can also go to first person if you want, but first person sucks in this game, so just stick to third person. You can also switch the camera view. You can go have a left view. You can have a left side view or a right hand view. It's nice. It's it can get very competitive at certain points, but mainly it's very low skilled. It's a low skill game. So if the Arsenal's too much for you, you can play this one. Next game is ROBLOX. ROBLOX is again another Arsenal clone, an Arsenal clone after another one. Yes, this one is a more high-paced version of Shootout. This one is a little bit faster paced than Shootout, but in my opinion, it's slower paced than Arsenal. The maps are bigger, which makes the game feel slower. There's more players, so it's harder to find other players. If you have a good teams, if you have good teams, it's gonna be hard to find enemies because you're just killing them. The game is a bit finicky sometimes. It's a bit slow. If you have a slower computer, it's not the perfect game for you. Um, but if you have a perfect computer, this is great. This is a great game if you have an amazing computer. This game, I like the fact that you can slide in this game. This is just Arsenal, but if you had the ability to slide in melee, this is really nice. If you had like a melee strike option, which is very good. Even a nice little tip. If you're there's a game mode here called Snipers Only. If you Space Snipers, my bad. If you play that, my tip for you is when you run up to someone, jump towards them, hit them with a sniper. If that sniper does not kill, hit him with the melee. The melee automatically tracks the opponent if they're close. If you're aiming at them, and if it's close enough, the melee will automatically hit. So it's great. It's a great use of melee. It's perfect. I recommend doing that. It will make you a better player in this game. You'll get kills a lot faster. But yeah, besides this game is also super competitive. There's a rank system to the game, like Paragon. I think Paragon is the highest level, highest skill level game. But yeah, it's very fun. Game up is No Scope Arcade. No Scope Arcade is a very fast paced, short length round games of just snipers only. It's essentially all you have to do is just kill people with snipers, or if you have a knife, if you want to kill people with knives, you can do that. And it's very hard. It's a very hard game to play, very hard game to get used to. It's very fast paced. If you suck at sniping, if you suck at camera control, controlling your mouse, and you're gonna do terrible in this game. So I don't recommend this is not a game for beginners. I recommend playing the other ones. I like the fact that the games end super quick, unless the players like to stall or like to just troll, then they're just gonna stay there for a while. But the games are like only 1 minute long. It's very quick. They only last a minute or less, depending on the full duration. Depending if you survive the full duration of the game. But besides that, it's great. It's a great game. Honestly, I'm gonna stop saying it's a great game because all of these games in the list are great games. So I'm just gonna stop saying it. But yeah, I recommend it. Next game up is Entry Point. Entry Point is kind of like there's two game modes. It's a mixture of Payday and Rainbow Six Siege. Why? Because there's a Payday style game mode, a heist game mode, and there is another game mode called Shadow Operation, something like that, which is the one that I'm playing right now, which is the most popular one of the both game modes. Oh fuck, Shui. Which is a Rainbow Six Siege style game. More unique. It's slightly more unique, and also a little bit more simpler. Um, you can check cameras, you can soak frags, you have different equipments you can use, different attachments for your weapons. It's also a little bit more fast paced than Operation Siege. It's in my opinion it's a little bit easier to play because it's not as complex as Operation Siege. I'm a little bit I'm not sick, but I'm a little bit stuffy, but but if you're not good at Operation Siege, maybe try out this game. Next game up is one of the newest Roblox game that has been made, which is called Frontlines. Frontlines is a first-person shooter game. This one is a pure Call of Duty clone, but it is a good one at that. It's probably, honestly, if you look at this, you wouldn't even think of that this is a Roblox game. This is honestly impressive. It is impressive what the developers of this game were able to do. It feels like COD. It feels like the glory days of COD. It makes you miss those days. It's just great. It's great. It honestly is. Oh my! I can't get over how well made this game is. It's so polished. It's insane. Right now I'm running it on little slightly low graphics, but it's dope. It's even with slightly low graphics, it's still it's still just amazing. It looks good. Alright, next up is Those Who Remain. Those Who Remain is a Call of Duty zombie style game. Only the zombie part. It's basically you just fight off a horde of zombies. There's different game modes like endless, classic, or whatever. I play endless because why the fuck not? And essentially all you do is just fight off zombies. The graphics are great. By the way, the graphics are great. The gameplay is okay for a zombie game. It's okay. It's a little bit slow paced. And it can get very boring at certain points. Because there's not really that much to do. All you do is just defend the generator. That's it in endless mode. That's it. But besides that, I still recommend it. Next game is Project Lazarus. Project Lazarus is another Call of Duty Zombies clone, but this one is a pure Call of Duty Zombies clone. And by what I mean is because it has everything that Call of Duty Zombies had, which is the pack-a-punch stuff where you upgrade your weapons to make them stronger. It has the drinks like Juggernog, a Mule Kick, and Double Tap and stuff like that from the classic Call of Duty games. It has all that stuff. When you compare it to Those Who Remain, the graphics are simpler, but the combat and the gameplay is a lot more intense and a lot more fun. Even though it's more simplistic, it's just amazing. After recording this gameplay, I got addicted to playing this game. This game is really good. I've gotten really good at this game. The longest I've gone is round 30. That's the highest I've gone, round 30. I've clutched a couple times on my own. It's honestly very fun. I'm very well knowledged in this game now. It's very fun. Dude, this is one of the games I really recommend. I recommend you fucking play this game. This game is fun. Next one is Jailbird. Jailbird is a Rainbow Six Siege clone, kind of. It's kind of because it has similar mechanics. But it also has like a siege game mode that operates kind of like Rainbow Six. There's nothing else much to say. There's a game mode called Arcade, which is a round-based game where you just kill the opposing team and you progress the rounds. That's the one that a lot of people play. I play that one too. It's fun. It's very fun. It's also it's a hard game to play. Especially when you're in higher level lobbies. It's a little bit complex. It gets a bit hard, but besides that, it's fun. It's fun. It's a bit buggy sometimes. Like right now, if you're seeing that was a bug, I was not supposed to move in the countdown, which allowed me to be able to clutch up, which allowed me to be able to just solo everyone, which allowed me. I'm watching the gameplay as I'm playing, as I'm commenting, as I'm not reading a script, but I'm watching it. So that was fucking hilarious. But yeah, it's a fun game. It's a bit buggy, but it's good. Next game is an untitled tag game. It doesn't really have a title, but it is just a tag game. All you do is just run around in different maps and just not get tagged if you're not the tagger. There's different game modes like freeze tag, bomb, like hot potato essentially. There's Juggernaut, where you have to tag a Juggernaut. You have to tag one Juggernaut while the Juggernaut can tag you back and eliminate you. There's Infected. There's Crown. That's the one that you see now, which is a newer game mode, which is just the MVP. You have to chase the MVP while the MVP can get points. by just running away. You have FFA, you have Team Deathmatch, you got Team Swap. I play this game a lot. I went through a stage of my life I was just nonstop playing this game, but it can get very boring. I've learned that this game can get very, very, very boring. It's very repetitive and boring. Nothing new happens. It's just very repetitive. The next game is called NSS, or technically I think it's called No Scope Studios, but it's just NSS all caps. This one is similar to No Scope Sniping. No Scope Arcade, sorry. Oh, that's what it's called. No Scope Sniping. There you go. It's called No Scope Sniping. This is it right there. It's No Scope Arcade clone, but a little bit more. The mechanics feel floatier. The graphics are a little bit more clean, and more unique. But still, it's a fun game. I like it. Right, this one is a knife. It has a knives only game mode, which No Scope Arcade does not have. I mean, No Scope Arcade does not have any game modes. It's just one, which is just kill all the motherfuckers and then you win. But this one, I like the fact that it has different game modes. Also, I like the every time you kill a person, it says like 180 no scoped. It says like memes. It just has memes in the bottom. I like that. It's a nice like lighthearted humor. I like it while you're playing the game. Like Destroyed. It's nice. It's nice. Next game is Poly Battle. Poly Battle is a battlefield style game mode, but if it was in estrogen, but if it was on estrogen, yep. It's simpler, a lot more simpler, but it's still fun. It's very fun if you know what you're doing. If you know how to play the game, it can be very fun. It has the tanks, the vehicles, the guns. It has all that stuff. It's very fun. The classes. It's okay. It's an okay game. It's slow paced sometimes. It can be it can be very slow. I'm not gonna lie. It's a very slow game compared to the other ones. But as long as you I think the best way to find enjoyment in this game is just by pushing everything that you see, just pushing every single person that you find. Just don't non-stop being aggressive, and then that just makes the game fun. But besides that, it's an okay game. Next game is called Rush Point. Rush Point is a Valorant clone. There's a lot of clones in this list. And also you've noticed there's a lot of first-person shooters in this game, that's what the good games of Roblox are, just first-person shooters. But if Rush Point is just a Valorant clone. Also, there's nothing else to say. It's literally just a Valorant clone. It has a lot of similar things to Valorant. It has other game modes too in it, like casual, has trading, has tutorial, has deathmatch, wingman, and unranked. I play a lot of team deathmatch, which is essentially exactly what it's called, team deathmatch. Die and you respawn, and you have to have the highest kills to win. It's fun. It's fun, but again, just like counter blocks, it has that finicky thing where the bullet spread can go crazy sometimes, and because it's part of the game mechanics, which I don't like, but you just have to get used to it. Next game is Friday Night Funkin'. It's a Friday Night Funkin' clone. It's just online, Friday Night Funkin' online. That is just exactly what it is. It's called Funky Friday. Just in case you want to be more specific, it's called Funky Friday. It's just FNF online. You can just play. There's certain stations like boombox stations, like as you see right in front of me. As you can 1v1 people, you can like 2v2 people, and you can play a lot of the song. There's a lot of song choices. There's just a bunch. They're very fun. They're very fun to play. It's very accurate. There's a lot of settings too. Like certain songs have death notes. You can remove the death notes if you want. You can remove certain special effects that make the game harder. You can add them to add a challenge to you. It's great. It's great. It's a nice change of pace from the other games because a lot of them are first-person shooters. So if you get tired of first-person shooter games, you have this game, which is nice. Next one is Foam FPS. Foam FPS is a first-person shooter game based on Nerf guns. It's semi-fast paced. It's a little bit buggy. Certain maps are a little bit buggy. I don't know what the fuck was happening in this map. I realized that you were able to go through every single piece of furniture, or every single piece of every single block. You're able to go through them. Some areas you just fall through the map. And also in this game, it's one tap. So if you get one tap, you die with any gun, which is just kind of like airsoft Nerf guns. It's the same rules. It's great. It's very fast. I like the fact that it's like that because it makes it faster. The game makes the game a lot more fast paced. And also, it's a bit different from the other ones. It requires you to be more faster with your aim, and also there's no reticle, so you have to use your eyes to know where the bullets are going. You have to also every gun has their unique bullet spread and their unique range, so how far they go, and also their unique arc. So which means that you have to kind of accommodate or compensate for your gun's range or accuracy. It's really good. It teaches you it teaches you different mechanics of first-person shooters, and it's really fun. Next one is called Riot Fall. Riot Fall is a Call of Duty clone, first-person shooter. Obviously, it's very fun. It's like this one came before Frontlines. This one came before Frontlines. Essentially, it's just like baby Frontlines. It's essentially baby Frontlines. Well, actually, Frontlines is essentially if Riot Fall became a man. That's what Frontlines is. This is just baby version of Frontlines. It's fun. It's simple. It's It's semi-fast paced. It's great. It's great. It's a bunch of game modes too. Decent amount. Great choice. It's a great choice. Great choice game. Next game is called Hell Reaver Arena. Hell Reaver Arena is essentially a Quake clone. If you don't know what the fuck Quake is, Google it. It is I think it's like the first person shooter to ever exist. I think like the first online first person shooter, and I think GoldenEye came after that. I'm not sure. I'm not that well versed. But I'm pretty sure either both came. I don't know which one came first, but I'm pretty sure Quake came before. I think Quake was the first person shooter on PC. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, GoldenEye came before Quake. So there you go. But this essentially is a Quake clone. It has a little bit of Doom Eternal mechanics with the dash. There you go, as you saw, the little dash that he did. It's nice. It's very fast paced. I really like it. The aiming is a little bit tricky because it's Doom style and Quake style, so you just kind of have to get used to that. It's good for if you like playing first-person shooter games because it teaches you to adapt to different styles, which is nice. It also as a first-person shooter fanatic, I recommend playing more than just one first-person shooter or playing more than one shooter game because it just teaches you to adapt to multiple ones, and that way you can apply one of the other games to another game. Like let's say Rainbow Six Siege. Like you can get better at Arsenal by playing Operation Siege because it teaches you reaction time. It teaches you to be well aware of your surroundings, and also you kind of rely on your reaction timing, so you can shoot people before they can shoot you if they do it like a very insane peak. So it teaches you that, and it's very nice. It's good to adapt in different games. But this game is very fun. It's very fast paced. It's very intense for the people that like more intensity. I recommend it. It's great. It's great. And now for the recommendations. The honorable mentions. Sorry. Now for the honorable mentions. There's a bunch of them. Why am I doing honorable mentions? Because if I did not, this would take forever. So I'm doing some honorable mentions. And what are the honorable mentions, you may ask? Okay, the honorable mentions are Recoil, which is another first-person shooter game. Airsoft Center, Untitled FPS game, which is called Void Rework. Nerf Strike, Deadline, Bloxy or Not, Big Paintball, Impulse, Dead by Roblox, Stop It Slender, and Strucid. Those are my honorable mentions. I recommend playing those. And yeah, that's the end of the video. I hope I changed your mind about Roblox, and I hope you enjoy the games that I listed. Play them. It's fun. And see ya.